Yo, 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 welcome back to the No Hedging Podcast, man. I am your host, Ty the Jet. I got my co-host here, Mr.
Roof 16, the GOAT, man.
You know what it is, man. Week 18 is under wraps, man. We had an exciting week. The playoff stage is set for both the AFC and the NFC.
Yes,
we know who's in, we know who's out. And there were some exciting games and exciting matchups with the playoff implications this past weekend. And that's what we're going to talk about today. This is our takeaways, our recap video, week 18. But before we get into it, man, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And also, you know, like I said, comment your thoughts below. We want to get some feedback from what you guys think from these NFL weeks as well. So,
yeah, man, we got to know.
Yeah. So
we got to know.
Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Week 18 takeaways. What is one of your takeaways from week 18, man, as the season wrapped up?
Well, first of all, one of my takeaways is the head coaching vacancies that are available.
Still to come. We got more.
Is more to come, and then there's also some GM vacancies that are available as well. I think they're already talking about 6 of them. We've seen 2 head coaches already get fired with Arthur Smith and Riverboat Ron.
Yep.
Sent them on up the river.
Brandon Staley.
Well, I'm just talking about since the
Recently,
wrap of the season. Staley was beforehand. The
Yeah.
Raiders fired their head coach beforehand. You know, it's a couple others. One of them, I don't understand why it's still a debate on whether or not Antonio Pierce should be the Raiders head coach, but apparently they're still talking about interviewing, and I think that's going to open up the door for Antonio Pierce to get some interviews a couple places because he proved himself to be pretty serviceable with the personnel that he had.
I think they're going to stick with him. I just think they're going to go through the process as they all do, right? They're going to, let's try to see what our best option is. A lot of focus on Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh is getting like hella attention to be somebody's NFL head coach because he's won wherever he went.
Yep.
So, I think he'll be a good fit in several places. I've heard something about Ben Johnson being hired. Of course, Belichick has been a talk a lot.
Heavy conversation.
They basically saying that, okay, Belichick can be good even though he's had some pretty trash past few seasons given the staff and personnel and team he's had. But so I think it's really interesting to see where the chips fall. Don't know which direction the Falcons are going to go in. Don't know if they're going to go in a similar style or completely overhaul it and get somebody who's more offensively minded. So I heard the Lions offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Ben Johnson.
I'm really interested to see. It looks like they've pretty much secured things with the Steelers with Tomlin making the playoffs with the Steelers. I think that
Mike wasn't going nowhere.
I didn't see them fire Mike Tomlin,
speculation.
but it was speculation on it if it's time to move on from Tomlin and all that. But him having another winning season and making the playoffs again, I think that obviously adjusts the conversation.
I think Dennis Allen's going to get let go. Saints head coach. I think he's going to get fired.
Okay. Yeah. There's been some discussion on him.
I think he's going to get fired. Who else out there? They're going to keep Chicago's head coach. They're keeping him.
Yeah,
those are just the immediate ones. I think those are the.
What do you think is a good spot for some of these guys? Like if Belichick leaves, what's a good team for him?
I think for Belichick, I don't think Atlanta would be a good fit.
Hell no.
Culture-wise. You know what I mean?
Hell no.
I think probably L.A. might be a good fit for Belichick. Even still, culture-wise, it's going to be a little different.
It's a little bit weird, but I think the personnel fits.
Yeah, the personnel fits.
And he has a good defensive skeleton, even though they played atrocious in the secondary.
Right. So that's going to fix a strong need out there, right? They need to fix that defense. They already got the offense. So based off of that,
bones out there
based off of that, I think that's going to probably be a good fit for him to improve the defense and where you can see a immediate change, right?
Right.
I think that's pretty much it. New Orleans, that's probably, like I said, if Dennis Allen gets let go, culture. You know what I mean? Washington, a lot of conversation about Washington. That might be a good fit for him.
I heard them talk about Washington.
That might be a good fit for him as well. I don't see that being a bad fit. But it seems like Washington, the defense, same thing, right? Their defense has been bad this season. especially the pass defense. So I think
I just don't see a lot of hope for the defense over there.
I mean, I think
Especially
Riverboat Ron is just out
his
it just wait, you know, it was just time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. So it just really depends, you know. I think those situations in which the defenses need help, those are probably going to be the best fits for him.
Yeah.
The only downfall about Washington is they don't have a quarterback. So him dealing with this quarterback thing is what the problem is.
You don't think Sam Howell is Washington's quarterback?
No way. And we've seen Belichick with these bad quarterbacks, right? Mac Jones and Zappy. So
I think he would want someone who's a proven
so that's why I think
that makes sense.
LA would probably be a good fit. Even though the culture might not be good.
Sam Howell being bad though. He made some plays happen.
He made plays, but the
offense was the bright spot of the Commanders this season. In my personal opinion.
Yeah. He turned over the ball too. Like he ain't played clean, you know, in a long time. You know what I'm saying? So in the beginning of the season, yes, but towards the end of the season, end of the season, you know, he started turning to that pumpkin. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Okay. Well, what's one of your takeaways as far as the games from Week 18, the last week of the regular season?
Yeah. So let's talk about the early games, right? You know, let's talk about Houston, right? Houston, C.J. Stroud, them beating the Colts on the road in a tight game.
Tight, tough.
You know, first year quarterback, rookie, first year head coach, rookie, winning the division.
What's my guy name, the defensive coordinator who just came back from Houston? He came back this year too.
I don't know.
Why can't I think of his name right now? It's slipping my mind. I'm sorry. But the job he did with the defense, they threw some pretty impressive schemes at the Colts as far as making them adjust. In particular in the passing game, they slowed down the Colts a lot in the passing game. However, not so much in the
run game. Hell no.
Run game.
Nah,
Jonathan Taylor
he went crazy.
Yeah,
he went crazy.
So they didn't do much for the run game, but fortunately for them, they didn't have to. They did enough to the pass game. Despite some injuries, Will Anderson had a high ankle sprain, but he played through it.
Mm-hmm. Played on passing down snaps.
Yeah, he was noticeably limping though. So that's kind of one of my concerns though. Is the takeaway is like they got into a battle with the Colts.
Yeah, it was a fist fight. You know what I mean? They came out, they punched the Colts in the mouth first with that deep pass to Nico. Nico went off once again.
Nico went crazy.
You know, they're a young team. I like Houston. Young team, first year, second year players. They have a few veterans in there as well. You know, that's been to Super Bowls and things like that. They got some leadership on that team. I see the future is bright for Houston. They got their quarterback. They got some good, solid receivers.
Strong defensive presence.
Defensive players.
They got a tight end. You know, they got a lot of hope on that team.
They arguably have the best quarterback in that division.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, shout out to Houston. Houston did a great job. They end up, and they deserve to be there.
Sorry for my Colts, man.
They deserve to be there. I
was liking the campaign. You know, they made that play. Minshew did what he could. Will Anderson, again, got in the line of sight. Had to adjust his pass. He kind of threw it behind him just slightly.
Catchable ball,
but it was very catchable. Still a good pass. I'm not putting that all on Minshew. He was just trying to turn and catch it, and it flew off his hands, man. Yeah. So no conversion. Then they did something weird, which fucked our boys under up. That was tragic. Yeah. They could have just ran to the back of the end zone and threw it because you was out of the pocket, and that would have killed that 1 second on the clock. You could have threw it out of bounds. But I don't know what the hell that was about that safety. Seemed Vegas issues to me. But, hey. You know, it was tough.
You win some, you lose some. Unfortunately, the Colts lost, and I mean, Houston was the better team.
That was all credit to Houston, though.
Yeah, Houston was the better team. You know what I mean? They've been the better team all season,
too. Almost 180 yards to Jonathan Taylor, but, you know, the Colts also gave up 195 yards to Nico. So, I mean, hey.
And CJ was making some crazy throws, man. Avoiding pressure, throwing off his back foot. Throwing to a spot,
running 10 yards
on 3rd and 13, making plays, converting the ball, man. And, you know, it's just what it is. You know, so shout out to Houston.
They earned it. They earned the playoff spot. They did.
And the way that they won the division was as we transition into Jacksonville's downfall. They just been
that was one of the most
trending
tragic. Cat Williams said, "The Jacksonville Jaguars are absolutely trash." All right, they played very basura.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I've never seen a team collapse so heavily, other than maybe the Eagles this season. But they played bad. Like, they had the playoff spot on lock for about 4 games now. And they were not able to successfully secure a playoff spot. They lost that for themselves. So I'm not surprised that they lost to the Titans at all. It wasn't far-fetched at all.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence hasn't been playing well. He's been turning the football over at an alarming rate.
I still think something is wrong with Trevor Lawrence, and they didn't say what it was after that injury. He has not been the same.
Yeah, he hasn't been the same. But it's just hard to see like what their issue is, right? He's been missing passes, overthrowing balls, just hasn't been accurate with the football. Like that deep pass down the field to Calvin Ridley that Calvin Ridley could have walked in the end zone. He overshot that. Could have gave him a shot there, but. Shout out to Tennessee, man. Tennessee was at home. They said, listen, we ain't going to the playoffs. Y'all ain't going to the playoffs. So they came out there. They battled. Ryan Tannehill, he was throwing the ball pretty well. Derrick Henry went crazy for possibly his last game as a Tennessee Titan. I think he had 2 touchdowns, something like that. So King Henry went crazy. D-Hop made some great catches out there as well. So Tennessee came to play, man. They came to play, kept Jacksonville out of the playoffs, and that is how Houston got that number 1 seed. Well, not number 1 seed, but won the division. So,
yeah, Houston earned it at the end of the day. Wish the Colts could have been in there too, but Houston earned it at the end of the day. So all credit to them. They played phenomenal. They're rookies. They seem to have made the perfect decisions when it comes to their draft this year. They're great fits for the team. So we're going to see what they're able to do. Now, they got banged up in that game, as we just talked about. So I'm kind of questioning how well this is going to go when it comes to this wild card weekend. And Houston got to turn around and play the Browns.
Yep.
And as we know, Brown don't fuck around.
No, that defense crazy.
That defense is crazy.
Yeah. So CJ ain't seen that defense yet.
Magic, he ain't seen that.
He ain't seen that yet.
We going to see, but – is in any event, I'm happy for them, being able to make it. Even though I've been around with the Colts, it's one of my favorite teams, but I do like Houston. I do like what they've been able to put together this season. So nothing but credit to them. They played phenomenal through a very tough game. Now, another one of my takeaways.
What you got?
The Eagles.
Again.
The Eagles.
How about the Giants? Forget the Eagles, man. Y'all see what I'm rocking right now. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead. Let me cut you off for a second. Let me have my moment.
Don't wrap me up.
Let me have my moment real quick. Shout out to the New York football Giants, man. We finally beat Philadelphia. Man, this was a huge win for us to wrap up the season. Granted, we're not going to the playoffs. I understand that. But at the end of the day, we got that dub against Philadelphia. Haven't beaten them since 2021. They've been a thorn in our asses for a long time.
Thorn in the ass.
But the New York Giants, they came out with the mindset of pride. Sterling Shepard, shout out to Sterling Shepard, man. It might be his last time as a Giant, possibly playing in the NFL, but we respect everything he was able to do. 5th all-time receptions in New York Giants history. Okay. So shout out to you, Shep, man. Saquon, a lot of conversations about him. He was on the franchise tag, so hopefully they sign him back. He scored 2 touchdowns that game.
You made me just remember
Xavier McKinney, free agent as well, had 2 interceptions that game. So hopefully we sign him back again.
Saquon, I'm praying for you, brother.
Yes. So shout out to the New York Giants, man. We came out there. We dominated Philadelphia early. And that's pretty much all I got to say about the New York Giants. We left the ended the season on a positive note by getting that win against Philadelphia, our division rival. So shout out to the Giants. Go Big Blue. And you continue your take, man. Go ahead. I bet. Had to do.
Me get my take back. Okay. Nah, man, the Eagles collapsed. The Giants, to their credit, they have been playing well defensively for the latter half. I'd say the whole second half of the season, honestly. The first time I saw them play really well on defense was against the Dolphins. They put up a very good fight, got a very long touchdown, pick six. I seen the defense step up from that game forward. So credit to them and how they played and coming home with the dub. But the Eagles, like, losing 5 out of your last 6 games.
2 who they lost to as well.
And then you losing to some people. You lost to the Bills. You lost to the Eagles. You lost to
the Cowboys.
The Cowboys. You lost to the Giants.
The Cardinals.
Cardinals. And it was a 5th one now. I'm not even remembering. Did San Francisco? San Francisco, right?
I can't remember.
Was that one of them? But either way it go, they lost 5 out of 6. And they definitely had some opportunities to clinch that division and win that division. So it's another one of them teams. It's a little bit difficult to pinpoint exactly what the hell is wrong with them at this point. I know they had some injuries and whatnot, but still, for them to play this bad and not win, I can understand the Cowboys. I could understand the 49ers. I can even. But you lost by 17 points to the Giants in a game which you need to win the division.
Right.
And again, we was looking at it last week, and I told you Antonio Brown didn't even look surprised.
AJ Brown,
my bad. Didn't even look surprised at what was going on, like, as they were losing that game to the Cardinals. And to me, that's just not good energy and a good sign going into this wild card weekend. Like, I have very little hope in them. I'm questioning whether or not they could beat the Buccaneers.
Yeah, and they're playing in Tampa on the road.
And they're playing in Tampa. Now, they did beat the Buccaneers earlier this season in Tampa. So they have to go back. But that was a much more energized and much more dominant Eagles team versus a more in sync Buccaneers team at this point. So I don't know. I'm questioning what the Eagles going to be able to do in the postseason.
Yeah, so it's been the same problem, man, with Philadelphia. Their defense, man, just been not playing well. Like, just looking at this last game against the Giants and against the Cardinals, their defense, they're missing tackles. It's like fundamental stuff. Like, they're missing tackles. They're they're not getting turnovers. Offensively, they're turning the football over. They're not converting. They're not scoring as many points as they used to score offensively. They're not running the football on offense. But defensively, like I said, they're missing tackles. They're not playing fundamentally. They're letting these teams run all over them. The secondary just allowing open receivers.
Non-existent.
They allowing open receivers. Like, how do you let Saquon Barkley run down the field 30-something yards and catch a pass down the sideline when you got 3 defenders over there? So there's a lot of issues going on with the Eagles' defense. And what I see when they play, they don't play with that same Philadelphia energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, when somebody makes a tackle or somebody gets a sack,
much more
there's
different.
no energy there. Like, there's no excitement. There's no physicality. They just getting outmanned and outplayed every time I watch them play. So they got to change it up this week. I think they do go down to Tampa Bay and win, because I think overall they have a much more talented team. But it's not going to be an easy dub. I think Tampa Bay is going to come out there and bring it. Philadelphia has been getting, attacked by the media for the past month. So I hope,
rightfully so,
I hope they figure a way to turn this thing around, especially in the playoffs. Right now it's the playoffs. It's 0-0. Whatever happened last week and beyond doesn't even matter. So I think they flipped the switch, as we've been hoping for and looking for the past 4 weeks.
A wise poet once said, I hope so.
I hope so. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
We're going to see. That's been bothering me. What's another one of your takeaways, though?
Another one of my takeaways, what we got? What we got? That's it.
I mean, you got Bills, Dolphins.
Well, yeah, the Bills and the Dolphins. We knew what time it was. I knew what it was. I knew that Buffalo was going to go down there and get the dub. Right now, was it pretty? No. Was it easy? No. But nevertheless, Josh Allen, as we all
threw 2 picks.
He threw 2 picks, but he threw 2 touchdowns as well. Got to convert. Josh Allen did what Josh Allen does. He puts the ball in his hands, put the team on his back, and gets things done.
Josh Allen's stat line reminds me a lot of Desmond Ridder.
Without the wins.
Which is sad. Without the
wins.
But
he threw for over 350 yards. He went 30 for 38, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
I attribute a lot of that to the defensive
40 rushing
injuries,
yards
though.
or something like that. So
I attribute a lot of that to the defensive injuries, though. And honestly, I feel like they still would be a playoff team. But honestly, if that defense didn't get hurt, the Dolphins were in a position where they probably could have won that game.
Yeah, but they were man down, though. They were man down. They didn't have Waddle. They didn't have Mostert. They had some guys that were out. And, you know, to be completely honest, the beginning of that game,
ends are gone.
Yeah, they don't have no pass rush.
They don't have defensive
They don't have a pass rush.
One of their top receivers is out. Their starting running back is out.
Xavier Howard is out.
Xavier Howard. So that's what I'm saying. They was just down on defense. And I feel like and the Bills only won that game by 7.
Yeah, so, I mean, what really sparked that Bills win was that punt return touchdown by Hardy. You know what I mean? That's what really sparked that win. So, I mean, but you got to give them credit. They played well, offense, defense, and special teams. They held Miami to 14 points, even though it don't matter. You play with who's on the roster.
Right.
You play with who's on the roster. That's not
the Bills' fault. I'm not saying that as the Bills' fault. They was going to be a playoff team regardless. They earned it. They fought back ferociously in this latter half of the season.
What they didn't do was run the ball, though. They didn't do enough of that.
They didn't do it enough. They tried some, but because I think they were getting a passing game going. But again, a couple of Josh Allen turnovers kind of made them want to run a little bit. Yeah. But the Dolphins did pretty decent at containing the run. They were just not as effective in the pass game because they couldn't generate pressure for real. Yeah, man. So with all that being said, man, that's pretty much all the takeaways we got from that wild week 18, but the stage is set for wild card weekend.
Great NFL season, man.
It's been a great NFL season. Probably one of the most locked in, engaged, entertaining seasons I've been a part of.
Yeah.
So it's setting the stage for a very phenomenal playoffs. Honestly, it's a couple teams that's very dominant, but it's still a lot of teams that's in contention. So this playoffs is going to get crazy. We're going to see how it goes down, man. But like, share, comment, subscribe. Y'all stay tuned with us. We got plenty to talk about, like I said, for Wild Card Weekend.
It ain't over yet, man. Hey, the next rundown video is coming up, man. Playoff edition. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you lock in. And stay engaged because this season ain't over yet, and it's another level of NFL play.
Yeah, right now, send those slips, man. Quit playing. But we'll be back for the rundown. Y'all stay here, locked in with Rip, Ty.
No hedging. Peace.